listening to Art Dust with Glenda Gibson and
Me, Donna Druin. Hello.
and here we are back. And
We're
you've not
back.
heard a podcast from us for over a year. So we're going to call this
Yeah.
podcast The Lost Year. So Donna, where did that year go? What happened to our year?
What happened to our year? Uh, I started working at a gallery, uh, volunteering at a gallery, doing workshops at a gallery. Lots of family members were very ill. Had three funerals. Um,
Mm, yeah.
Went on an amazing cruise. Spent 6 months. Well, it felt like 6 months. Don't think it was 6 months. Clearing out a house. No, I think it was 6 months.
I think it
Clearing
was.
out a house. And then on every weekend, and yeah, and then like Christmas and exhibitions, and yeah, the year just evaporated.
She zoomed through that pretty quickly, but we'll unpack some more of it. So for the first 6 months of the year, I was in Australia. So Donna was doing all that on her own. So that was a bit of a, um, not a learning curve because she knew how to do it, but normally we do things together. So she had to work
Yeah.
out how to run a children's workshop.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that was
you
fun.
need you need two adults, and of course I wasn't there, so she had to negotiate with the parents. That was its own
Yeah,
challenge. At the
it
same
was
time,
fine.
we've got art at the Union Gallery in Grantham, and we do a bit of volunteering there as well. And Donna's already we're both doing classes now
Yeah,
at the gallery, so that's been a big change. But that's kind of not why we didn't do a podcast. We would have squashed it in, but part of the problem was I was away in Australia for 6 months
yeah,
in a house with no Wi-Fi and pretty rubbish phone reception. So we just
yeah.
physically couldn't do it. We could
But
not
no,
actually do a podcast. And when I came back, I was mentally unwell. So the word we've done a podcast on the word of the year that God gives us.
yeah,
And last year, my word was cross. And yeah, I was fairly cross about that word. And but
yeah,
it was about bearing my cross because Australia, I felt like I'd gone to the gates of hell and back, to be honest. I went to
mm,
support my son, but um, who'd whose partner had kicked him out, and he's got two little boys. But there has so much toxic history between him and me and the rest of the family and families, hey? It
yeah,
was it was just really hard for him and for me, and it was crazy. At one point, I was getting up at 5 in the morning to drive him to work because he lost his license for a while, um, and um, it was just a lot. Let's put it
yeah,
that way. And by the time I came back, I was definitely in need of some help and some space. Um, but I've gradually got better. I'm not completely
yeah.
right, but a lot better
She's much more Glenda now.
through the year. Yes, I turned into something else. But
Yes.
but I have turned into something else. There are parts of me that are different. I'm less inclined to people please and to shut down than I have been. I had a
Mm.
much more gentle and beautiful Christmas this year because I stressed about it less and I asked people to help. And yeah, so God always takes what is meant for evil and turns it into
Yeah,
good. He, Good things come out of it. But at the time when you're going through it, well, he actually really held me. Every day I got a text or the Bible app I was doing, or an email or a phone call or something to just remind me what I was doing, remind me where I was, remind me that he was holding me, and it was all going to be be all right. So it was an interesting experience, and I did get benefits from it, but I wouldn't do it again.
No,
It,
we'd stop you from going again.
it was a bit much. I
That
am
fun.
going to Australia, but only for 4 weeks, not for six
Yes.
months.
No.
And to see my daughters and rather than my son, although I will see him, of course. But yes, so while I was away, Donna was she skipped through that, but she was going through her own
Yeah.
traumas, really. You know, big
Yeah.
stuff. When people are unwell in your close family, really unwell, you know, seriously unwell.
Yeah.
And in fact, you said you went to three funerals, but your
Did.
grandmother and your father-in-law both died in within a week
Yeah.
of each other, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yes, so my brain crashed out a bit for a good few days. I actually was I found that Substack was a really good venting space, and I was able to write my what I was feeling out, which actually I found that to be really genuinely a really good space for just rather than like so it's just on Substack I'm just quite anonymous. Nobody knows I'm there. It's great. But
There.
yeah. Um but I do write poetry. And there are things that I couldn't articulate to another human being, but I could articulate. I needed to write it down. I needed to express it, and I found myself on there, just writing out all the stuff about yeah, just all of it, just being on there and how I felt. Yeah,
Mm. I
yeah,
journaled too. Everything that happened, I journaled it. I'm still journaling it actually. So I've got
yeah,
a Melbourne journal and I've got a post Melbourne journal. I'm journaling, what was said and what was happening and what was happening in me and what was
yeah,
happening spiritually, just partly to um, center myself and make it feel real, because it felt a bit
yeah.
unreal at times what was going on.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I think I felt I still struggle with the fact that my grandmother died on her own, because she lived so far, because she lived in Wales, and I was with Paul supporting I was with my husband supporting him and his dad, and we were going to juggle kids at school, um, work, and Paul's dad, and so I was standing there in the lounge thinking. I can't get because they said, oh, it could be a couple of hours, and I was thinking I can't even get there in a couple of hours. So I made, and my father-in-law, my stepdad, had just had a stroke, so my mum couldn't go. There was nobody else to go. There was nobody else to be with her. So because my mum's an only child and I'm an only child, so it wasn't like there was another person who could just take the reins and go. So yeah, my grandmother had a very small funeral. There was just eight of us.
She was very old though.
She was 98. She had very good innings.
She was 98. So,
Yeah. Yes, but she had been um yeah, she'd been alone for a very long time. That she lived in a nursing home, but she had my grandpa died back in 1995. So yeah,
mm.
so she'd been alone for a long time. Yeah. But yeah,
But she's still your grandmother, and
she is.
there's
Yeah.
grief, and
No,
you can't not
no,
have it. And of course, it's
no.
you when it's somebody like uh, your father-in-law.
Yeah.
You were supporting Paul through his grief as well as
Yeah.
your own grief.
Yeah.
Um, and
We
because
were a bit of a messy pair.
yeah, and because the house had to
Yeah.
be cleared and had to be cleared straight away, and
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
has a brother, but he lives in Switzerland.
Yes. So yeah, I mean Andrew came over as much as he possibly could, but yeah, there were weekends when me and Paul went down on our own and just did stuff and yeah, just you just have to do it. You just have to clear the house. There was 79 years worth of
Yeah,
travels and adventures and learning and books and yeah, they took and Paul's mum, we found all of Paul's mum's photos, which were quite funny because every time she went on holiday she would take a photograph of the bathrooms. She had a thing about bathrooms and her bedroom, and she would take photographs of them. So there were dozens, I mean there must have been hundreds of photographs of like bathrooms and bedrooms and kitchens. Just like,
well, that was kind of her because she was a stay-at-home mum all
yes,
her life, and
yes, yeah,
so
she was.
her
And she loved
artistic
haymaking a
release,
house.
yeah, her
Yeah,
artistic release was decorating her house. She had a
it
beautiful
was. So she,
garden as well, apparently.
yeah, yeah, she did. She loved gardening.
Yeah,
Um, so yes, I had a mission to make the front garden less crazy because Keith couldn't keep up on top of the garden. He did have a gardener, but the gardener came in and hacked back the bushes and just mowed the lawn. He didn't do the things that made the garden nice. And there was one bush that Janet had, which had really nice sculptural um how would you describe it? Branches, trunks. She just balanced them, but you couldn't see it because it's so overgrown. So I had this mission to restore that underneath the kitchen window because it had grown above the kitchen window. So I had to chop it all down and then clear it out. And I stood there and I was like, yeah, that's better. But yeah, that was, yeah. So it was hard. So it was juggling here and there. And yeah, I felt like and I was like, and I woke up one day going, where am I? Which house am I in? Where
yeah,
am I now?
yeah,
But yeah, now, yeah. And I couldn't have talked. I couldn't have done this. There was I was just about like, I'm just functioning. Don't ask me anymore. That's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah.
I
But
feel
in the middle of that,
that there's
yeah.
been a lot of cutting back in lots of ways.
Yes.
It's quite
Yeah.
a good image of the year that it's been a cutback. But we are back. We will do one about
We are.
every month. We've got a guest next month. So wait and
Woohoo.
see. Um, and and yeah, God sustained us, and we haven't gone away, but we've had to
No.
winter. I've just read Wintering.
Oh,
Um,
by Katherine May.
yes, and it's just yeah, it talks about just needing that that downtime sometime. So we
Yes.
are not ashamed or embarrassed. We needed that, and we've taken that, and
Yes.
we will in the future if it happens again. And we
Yeah.
encourage you to do that.
My word last year was noticing. And yeah, it was like, no, I need to have time alone. I need to heal. And yeah,
Yeah. Noticing
yeah,
yourself, yeah, it's really
yeah,
important. But
yeah,
I've got a
noticing
new
you.
word for this year. It was fun, but also happiness and joy. What's your word, Donna?
See, my word is clarity, which I'm really enjoying
Woo!
because I know, I like clarity. It's nice. It feels really like, because I noticed, one of the things I noticed last year, because obviously I was stressed, that my drawings in my plein air sketchbook, they got really tight and tight, like like they just didn't have the freedom. So my art has several streams, but like I want my printmaking to be more like my plein air work. It's yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that by taking all my sketchbooks out and drawing multiple drawings that are really fluid and then bringing that back and doing that in my printmaking, it's yeah, I can see how it's happening, but yeah, it's going to take me a bit longer than I thought. Oh, I'll just do like a couple of weeks in January. No. No. Yeah. It's definitely a an ongoing process, but yes, I'm sort of taking like where I spend my time and effort. So clarity is, yes, I'm having a clarity year.
Well, that is a good that's what we're going to do, and we'll have a
Yeah.
hopefully have a clarifying year as we share our
Yes.
podcasts as well, and joy and hope. I've put
Yeah.
on my a very fun scarf, uh,
Yes.
trying to be more fun. It's not my best thing, but I'll give it a go.
I think fun is not just something you try to do. Fun is just stuff.
Oh, Donna,
That's
you were just fun.
I'm wearing my hat because my hairdryer decided to have a fit. So I've got one half of my hair is dry and this bit's all wet. So I'm wearing my hat because it's keep my head warm.
It's also quite a fun hat.
It is a fun hat. It's a fun hat. I like this hat. But yeah.
Well, okay, everybody, we'll see you in the next podcast, and thanks
Yes, I will. Thank you for rejoining us.
for Bye.
Bye.